Okay, I just got back from watching the Purge election year at my Dollar Theater. I should probably say Borman's Dollar Theater, but whatever, my Dollar Theater, I guess. I'm gonna be honest, I really never had any intention of seeing this movie. Well, at least not seeing this movie in theaters, especially at the Dollar Theater. But friends who were supposed to come see Sausage Party decided to go see The Purge instead because it was cheaper and other issues, and I kind of had nothing to do. Well, I could work on that script I'm working on, or pay my dues at YSU. So I kind of went into this movie on two things. Not on two things, but there are two things I walked into this movie with the full knowledge of. A, that this was the third film in this franchise, in the Purge franchise. And this is the first one I'm watching, so if there's anything connecting to the first two, I probably didn't catch. I think the only thing that connects this film to the first one, at least, is I don't know what his name is. I think it's Dwayne. I don't know what his name is. All I know, he's probably in the first one. I didn't see the first one, but I know the first one has to do with Ethan Hawke and his family fighting against people trying to break into his house because the black guy, I think his name's Dwight, whatever it was, because he hid in the garage before the Purge or the kid let him in, I forget which. And the only thing connecting this film to the second one, I believe, is not only Dwight, I forget his name, I'm sorry, I'll look it up. He's played by Edwin Hodge, I think. And the only thing connecting the third one to the second one, other than Edwin Hodge, is Frank Grillo. I don't remember what his character's name is, but I do remember at least partially wanting to see the second film because of Frank Grillo. If I remember correctly, I didn't see the second one either, but I do remember watching at least the last 20 minutes of the second film on HBO a while back. And all I know is that possibly one of the biggest positives about the second one that I've heard is Frank Grillo. And Frank Grillo is, I think, another positive towards the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. I could be wrong on that. I don't watch Marvel movies, so I haven't in a while. Like a really long time, since like Iron Man 2. That tells you how long. And I remember him being one of the big positives about the movie My Soul to Take. And I know that's probably a horror movie that people don't really like or they think it's stupid, but if there are any positives out of that movie, it's the teenage actors, young adult actors, and Frank Grillo, just because it's fucking Frank Grillo. And, okay, I'm rambling. The second thing, okay, first part was I didn't see the first two films, so I don't know missing out on. The second problem was I walked into this movie, I think, either 5 or 10 minutes late, and from what I heard, the only thing I missed was this isn't a spoiler. This was already ruined in the trailers for you. I'm pretty sure it's just Elizabeth Mitchell's character, her family getting killed by Purgers. So yeah, The Purge election year is written and directed by James DeMonico, I think it is. He wrote, directed, and I think possibly produced the first two films. Or Blumhouse produced the first two, whatever. Frank Grillo from the second film comes back to play his character. I don't know his name. Elizabeth Mitchell's in this movie. She plays a senator who wants to stop the Purge. I forget her name. Charlie Rowan. Her character's name's Charlie Rowan. And basically she wants to put an end to the Purge. But the founding fathers of the Purge, I guess, I don't know. they want to put a stop to that because apparently it allows politicians to profit off the purge, I think, or it allows politicians to murder annually, I guess, every once in so a while in a year. I don't really know. And they seek help from McKelty Williamson, who I think was in... I could be wrong on this. I think he was in the final season of 24, and I think he was in charge of CTU. I forget his character's name, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't finish the last season of 24 because I kind of lost interest, and I know I probably could have finished, but that was like 3 years ago when I finished that, so I'm probably not going to return back to that. What can I say about this movie? So basically, I went this movie on those two notes. Basically, I missed the first two films, and I missed the first 5-10 minutes of it. So, if I missed something, correct me in the comments, I guess, or don't. If anyone's even watching these, I don't know. Writing was decent. Comparing this to Sausage Party, which I only saw like maybe, I'm going to say 4 or 5 hours before I saw The Purge election year. Difference was the Sausage Party had better satire in that movie than The Purge election year was. Than The Purge election year did. I'm just going to say that. You can say hell no, or you can say I agree with you, or you can say I haven't seen either one of these films. What the F are you talking about? Go ahead. But that's just my personal opinion. I think The Purge election year has some good satire in it, a little bit, but I don't think it wasn't enough to make me laugh. It wasn't enough to make me go, oh my god, what have we become? Basically, all I can guess from watching The Purge election year is that The Purge is a result if we elect either Clinton or Trump. Oh wait, those are our only options. Shoot. Okay, what can we do about that? So writing was decent, satirization with this movie was okay. Acting-wise, Frank Grillo was the best part, but he wasn't the main character. Elizabeth Mitchell was the main character, but Frank Grillo... I don't really think Frank Grillo had any purpose being in this movie other than he was a fan favorite in the second one, and they decided, fuck it, just... Pardon the language, I apologize. Basically just like, screw it, let's just put the fan favorite from the second film in this. And I'm pretty sure they did that because... pretty sure Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones was in the first one, and as much as I would probably rather watch her in the Purge movies, she needs to stay on Game of Thrones just so I could watch her die graciously. Cersei needs to die. I am rambling. I'm sorry. I'm not as focused as I was with the Sausage Party review, but that's just because I'm tired and this movie kind of didn't really... I guess really stick with me. I don't know, like, was this a good starting off point for me to watch the series? Yes and no. I really didn't have any intention of watching the series, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe a few years down the road I might. But, or at least wait until the series reaches a conclusion of sorts. But you know how that works. You reach a conclusion, and then years later, oh, hey, guess what? We're rebooting it. Or, hey, new beginning. But whatever. I think this is kind of a good place to start. I think I probably should have started with The Purge Anarchy, which is the second film. I probably should have started with that first, but I didn't. So... Again, acting-wise, I think Elizabeth Mitchell did well. I haven't really seen her in any... I think she's in something called Dead of Summer on TV, which I'm not watching, but I heard it's decent, I guess. I haven't really seen her in films. I think this is her first theatrical film that I've actually seen, but I'm pretty sure she's done others in the past that I just haven't watched before. she did a pretty good job, I think. McNulty Williamson was probably the best part of the movie. He got some laughs out of the audience. I kind of liked him, but I kind of already knew what would happen with his character in the movie, but whatever. I guess that's the problem. Like, with Sausage Party, you didn't really know what was going to happen. That's why I went to see the movie. I wanted to see what was going to happen, because I wasn't sure. With the Purge election year, I kind of saw where a few things were going to go, and basically this movie just works by jump scaring you. Because I'm pretty sure Blumhouse produces these films, and of course the trademark of Blumhouse is just to jump scare you. Just to go, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Cinematography, I think was pretty... I think cinematography was okay. Editing was okay, I guess. There were a few shaky cam shots. I didn't really mind it. I think it adds a little bit more realism to it. It makes the setting look a little bit more isolated, I guess, instead of just keeping a tripod like this, just standing still, not doing much. Soundtrack. That reminds me, and then get into the soundtrack for Sausage Party. That was okay. But with this movie, I will give props. There was a scene where one of the Purgers steps out of a car being with like Christmas lights all around it. It's these teenage girls who get out, and they're dressed to kill in like ballerina outfits, and are playing Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, which got a little bit of a chuckle out of me and was a little bit unsettling. But then that got completely ruined with these girls' motive for purging, because McNulty Williamson's character, who was a shop owner, I think, caught them stealing candy before the purge even happened, and they decided to get revenge because he robbed them of their candy. Dear God, I wouldn't want to see Augustus Gloop or any of the other shitheads from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for that matter, purge of effing purge night. Oh, Lord. So, I'm going to rate this movie a 4.5 out of 10. I think about halfway through the movie, I thought this is only going to get like a 3 or a 4. And then I decided to keep it a 4 when those girls I mentioned, their characters got a good comeuppance, and I was glad of that. And then in the last half of the movie, they probably already introduced them in the beginning and I missed them, but they brought in these villains who are overacting and overselling their performance. It was just hilarious. And it made it a little bit more fun to watch, and I kind of wish the villains had a little bit more of that personality. Well, they kind of already did, but that's the only problem I guess I have with the Purge movies. They're not focusing more on the villains, they're focusing more on people trying to survive the Purge. And as much as we can go into survival stories and all that, I'd rather just have a video game of the Purge and just fucking purge. I think that's what most people would want, just a video game of that. I don't mind following characters that I like to survive and all, but it's kind of stories that have been done, and I'd rather see what's going on the streets of the Purge, I guess. And even though it's a ridiculous concept, and I hope that God, as a American, this never effing happens. Dear Lord, help us. Please don't let Clinton or Trump. Just kidding. So yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. It's still in dollar theaters, so I guess that means it's still successful, I guess. Would I recommend seeing it in theaters before it goes out? Sure. I wasted $3. Go ahead. Would I recommend renting it or buying? Okay, buying it. If you've seen the first two films and you like them, if you're a fan of them, then buy it. If you just want a movie to check out and you don't want to watch either one of them, or just, what I mean is, pick a starting point that's not the first two films, I guess you could start with this one. But there are some characters from the previous films that are there, and I guess I don't really see their character traits unless I were to see the other films, so I guess, I don't don't know. Ask another person who's actually seen the movies, because obviously I don't know what the F I'm talking about. So, 4.5 out of 10. Watch it whenever it comes out on DVD or whatnot. And, that's it. I don't know what I'll be seeing next. Maybe Don't Breathe. Maybe I'll review something that I have on the shelf here, or on the one over here. Over here. Yeah. So, that's it.